Hey, this could be your garden. Hey, that's on location. Everybody can do that, right?
Yeah.
It's plein air. I think everybody can see that. I want to make a contaminated palette mosh pit.
See, the kitty has a little cat box bed.
Yes, I made a cat box.
You didn't see it?
Do you see her in it? Does she come in?
No, I haven't seen her in it, and there's another one down the way that Charles has, and he said she doesn't use it. So I don't know where she sleeps.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you can see, I've got
food in it.
I've got a puddle of paint here. I'm gonna wait wait till you get
See
done.
what you're
Put
doing
some
here.
Yeah, I finished yours off, so I bought another one. I know.
I can't have them at home.
Oh, I know. I'll bet you
just
can't eat just
stop.
30. I bet you can't eat just 30.
Keep it down to 30.
Yeah, I know.
In fact, I have no sweets. It's horrible.
No, why are you not allowed to have sweets? Are you diabetic or?
Well, sometimes they say I'm free, then other times they say I'm not even close.
Oh, okay.
Stop going to that.
Yeah, that sounds like a typical doctor.
So now I don't know what, I just watch it.
Speaking of health conditions, I won't be
I watched it
coming
this-
to class next Monday. I've been referred to a hematologist, so.
A what?
Hematologist to find out. Apparently, I'm not making red blood cells the way I should be. So they're either being not made properly or they're being broken down sooner. So I'm not iron deficient or I've had no hemorrhaging, whatever. So
It's
anyway.
one of the perks of age.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
My grandma never went to the doctor.
What's that?
My grandma.
Your
Carol, are you there?
Never went.
Yeah. And so.
Carol?
And I, actually,
I'm looking for an exacto.
maybe.
Okay, all I'm gonna do is make I'm gonna start off, I'm gonna put a puddle of paint. I'm gonna put a puddle of paint here.
No matter
Like
what
this,
color or anything.
And I don't want it to soak in right away. And then I might spatter a little bit like that. And then I'm gonna blow it. And I can use a straw, but I like to go like that. So now I'm gonna make a little darker puddle, maybe a little bluer puddle. And I'm gonna do the same thing right on top of it. I'm gonna make a puddle here and blow it that way.
You're not even using a straw, are you?
No, I'm not using a straw. The heck with those straws.
I'll have to use a straw so I can concentrate my.
Yeah, now I'm gonna make another puddle of paint and kind of just blob some of this in here. So there's I could not paint that. I couldn't think to paint that. And now I can actually take my brush if I want. And I can connect some of these. So here's I'm gonna take some of this paint and draw a leaf. I'm gonna draw another leaf. I'm gonna draw another leaf. So I can paint and do this at the same time. There we go. And then I can go back in and I can sculpt that leaf. If I want, I think I want to do that. Yeah, why not? Anyway, so there's sculpting the leaf. I can go back in and I can put a little dark right here, a little dark behind here. And now I've got what's kind of cool. Now I've got this thing that's building.
Mhm.
And then I can make a little pot, if you will. Put a few little lines down here. Sculpt a little bit more. And there I've got a little and no time at all, I've got a little scene. I've got a little something going on. Does that make sense? Is that fun? Does that look like fun?
Yeah, yes.
I'm gonna paint something here, a bush. Kind of a bush shape. I'll make this one a pot. And I can use my dagger or my rigger. Just mix up a little dark on top of that while that's still wet. So now I've got a lot of this stuff going right into here and a couple little things and whatnot. There's the start of my little pot. To this side. Don't mind the color that's already on there.
Salt too.
Just play with this for a while.
Oh, you.
This has to, this should be dry and you can always re-wet it anyway. See if you like the straw or see if you like the
And,
just blowing it. You're gonna get something that's pretty believable. That you can go back and you can put some leaves in and you can sculpt it a little bit. With this other one right here, I'm just going to take that green puddle and I'm gonna make it darker. I'm just adding some Payne's gray to make it darker. There we go. I'm just gonna take this piece of plastic crumpled up and I'm gonna stamp it in my palette. And then I'm gonna stamp it on these on this bush that I've just painted. I can use different colors on this. So you can see that that gives a texture that I really can't get any other way. Kind of cool. And that's unique. That's a unique texture. All this is a surprise.
wow.
So when I paint, at least I always have figured out my light. My light's usually coming from the upper left, so I have a shadow. I have a shadow. I have somewhat of a shadow. Lighter, darker. Anyway, it's a pretty easy little thing to know. You could spend on location out your back door in your garden
Mhm.
with a cup of coffee or a glass of wine.
That sounds fun.
Your straw.
Yeah, I kind of like the surprise of the blowing it. And you can get pretty good at it, I think.
Joe, did you do the cellophane yet?
Yes, I just did it
Where?
on
One thing said,
I just painted a shape, a green paint, a green shape like this. And then I took the cellophane and I
Oh,
dabbed
got
it,
it.
I crinkled it up,
gotcha,
and then I dabbed it in this paint.
gotcha.
And now I can just stamp.
Why isn't mine working?
Why isn't what? Is your
Too wet.
well, it's probably it's too wet. That's why.
This paper, you can only put paint down 2 times.
That's okay. We're not
That's
in a hurry. Yeah, we're not in a hurry.
Yeah, I tried to buy some of your 100% cotton, but they didn't have
It's
it.
junk.
Chinese.
On Michael's?
That stuff at Michael's, yeah. They only have the stuff that isn't 100% cotton.
Oh,
Arts.
the 100% cotton. Yes,
Art
it's got the woman on the front.
Yeah, the only thing they had was,
It's got the tree.
they had blocks. I didn't want to spend extra money for a block.
This is what I've been using.
Yeah,
It's 100% cotton.
yeah.
And I've been using a Bahong pad, that Chinese paper.
Joe, did you get this stuff that you have in your hand? Where'd you get that?
Oh, this,
Yeah,
Michael's.
okay.
But wait, right today,
I've got one you can try.
do not ever pay
As long
full,
as it's cheap, I don't.
do not ever pay full price at Michael's. Today it's 30 off. The most they have is 40% off.
And you
So-
don't have to be a member or anything, just
No, you just have to get the coupon.
Mondays
though.
is-
Sometimes I'll have buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
What you do is, if you're on there, look, just go to
Michael's to see if
Michaels.com
they've got it. I forget to
and
keep on
click the
looking.
coupon or print it out or
Yeah.
whatever. Or
Oh.
if they just say it's 30% off any one item, it's only one item. Or sometimes it's any one item,
Okay,
then,
what's that, 100% cotton?
yeah, this is 100% cotton.
Mine didn't work. I guess I didn't get a gauze paint.
Just gotta put it in.
Cause I have a Michael's right by my house. I
Yeah,
could
see,
just-
100% cotton.
Can I just go over
Not
there?
really.
Yeah.
30,
So simple.
You do.
You could do your whole garden that way. So, experiment with this a little bit. Maybe you could, combine these. I don't know if you could combine these, take this as a start and then, just paint some and, or stamp some, over the top of it in some places. Yeah, well, there you go. You've got a bunch of,
That's as creative as I got.
well, it depends on I had a specific
Yeah,
goal. I was
I know.
making a planter.
Yeah.
So
Was this.
you were,
Spin it
well,
into
that's
a-
okay. That's okay. Now you know how it works.
Joe, I think this thing's on water.
It is. Here, let me. There it goes.
Right.
Well, it should go. I guess,
Okay. Well,
you can figure it out.
okay.
Okay, can you see that how you could, use this, blowing technique?
Yeah, it's great. And the tissue
What's that?
paper is really
Me.
nice too.
It's me banging the table.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and the plastic, it's not saran wrap. You don't need saran wrap. You're just stamping with it. You're not actually putting it on the paper.
Right.
Because what you would do if you put it on the paper, it would look like crystals or thorns or stuff like that. So you just want to stamp. Or if you had a rock with some weeds growing. So let me try that. That's kind of an interesting. I could take this, this is wet right here. Let me try this. There, I made some branches in there.
Mm.
Anyway. Let's take one of these rocks up here and try to do that. Also, I think what I want to try on those rocks is a smooge or a monoprint. So now I'm going to use another technique. I'm going to use all these together, except for the water resist. I use the blowing and the stamping and monoprint. How about that? Wow. So there's my monoprint stamp. I think I'll turn that this way. Gonna mix up a kind of a brown kind of color, and I'm just gonna do a big rock shape. Make that rock go that way. There's a rock shape, and I'm gonna do another one in front of it. I'm gonna try another one too. Gonna mix up some blue for a rock shape. Here's another rock going off here. Here's this big rock. So I got a couple of different rocks. And I'm going to mix up some greeny kind of color. Fairly thick paint. I'm gonna put that green kind of color along the bottom here. And I'm gonna make sure that it's a puddle. There's a puddle of water, there's some water, there's some water. I'm just trying this for the first time. Not much.
Oh, God. doesn't-
So let me get away from that wet. Let me try to put that stuff here. Here's a puddle. And I probably should let this dry. Here's another puddle. That works better, but I gotta let this dry. So I found that out. And I'm going to also use my palette knife to kind of carve out some of this big rock in here.
Huh.
That looks kind of rocky to me.
Doesn't work.
I could actually take this.
Huh?
Pass out.
I could actually take this and I could
Yeah, now you're,
put a few of those in there. It's starting to look pretty rocky to me. Want to make sure that that is emphasized. Now I gotta let that dry before I can do anything over the top of it, anything. I want to stamp over the top of it. I want to stamp with the plastic. I want to stamp with this monoprint. And I also want to blow, but I've got to let that dry first, but that's kind of interesting,
Yeah.
just the way it is.
Yeah.
Joe, remember that artist that came here to the school? And I bought his book and he did a.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
Or
can't,
there's
we're trying to
one.
figure out, he was the one that did, you buy his book and he puts
Yes.
paints a dragonfly or
Yes.
something, a bug. I
He was-
can't remember his
I
name.
love
He was from
his
Reno.
book. I'll bring his book.
Yeah,
I
he was
love
from
it.
Reno. We were talking about him the other day and I couldn't figure out what his name was.
Got the water on
I couldn't remember what his name was.
a pool. Below,
Oh, you need to, with these
below,
colors.
below it.
I just want to do the rocks like.
Oh, yeah.
More paint.
Yeah,
I'm learning it's gotta be a lot of paint.
yeah, I see.
Just won't even move. Unless you have a lot of paint. Ugh.
Carving tools.
I'm learning that too. It's really hard to blow this with the straw. It's gotta be so
I
much.
know. I've learned you have to have so much paint there or it won't move.
That's kind of cool.
Mhm.
Very cool. How you doing, Carol?
Well, I'm experimenting.
Good.
I got one of the things to blow one of the times, but something will show up eventually.
Okay, that's drying out kind of interestingly enough. It's still too wet, I think. Right in here, it's pretty wet to apply either one of those other two techniques to. Anyway, I think I'm going to use this was the scraping, the palette knife stuff. I think I'm going to put another, this is kind of dry now. I'm going to put, I think I'll make it reddish, kind of reddish. I'm going to make a puddle right here. And I am going to put some of that puddle right here. There's a puddle. I'm making a puddle and I'm going to put another puddle here. And I'm going to blow it up. There we go. So I got some weeds going over there. It's kind of interesting. I think I'll make another little puddle of that someplace else. There's a puddle. And I can also now, I think, take my plastic wrap, and I think I'll use that same color. Sprinkle this up in that purpley kind of color, and put some of that texture on this rock. That's kind of cool. Right over that weed. And I'm going to apply some paint to this. In fact, I'm going to make a little gouache. I'm going to use a little bit of that white paint, and I'm going to mix it with that purpley kind of color. Here's my purpley kind of color. I'm just going to put some on a piece of board here, piece of mat board. And I'm going to try to see if how this works. So there's my what do I want to say? monoprint. I'm gonna take that same color and go back to my plastic. I'm gonna dip it in there and I'm going to go right over that
Oh, I just destroyed mine.
place that I
well.
just had before.
Okay.
So there you
Just
go.
destroyed it.
In fact, I think I'll take a little bit of that paint, that gouache paint that I have, and put a few drops of that right here. And
I had a really interesting pattern. I decided
Oh,
to put
yeah.
the plastic wrap on top of it, and just totally mucked it up.
Yeah. Good.
No, that, I read it. Oh, well.
anyway, so now I have this nice little rocky setting, I think. I'm gonna take and make a little dry brush grass. So there's my little outcropping, if you will. Kind of like that. That could be a background for something going on. Some trees back there, mountains, whatever. So we used stamping with the plastic wrap. We used blowing. We used a palette knife. And we stamped with two different colors, a dark and a light. Can be dark and light, doesn't really make any difference. We also blown with dark and light. And then we've used some dry brush. Now I could go back and I could put some real flowers in there if I wanted to, and it would make that whole scene look pretty realistic. Just going to use some white paint just for this little experiment. Here's a white flower. Here's another white flower. Here's another white flower, smaller one. And maybe little spatter. And we're done. So that used a bunch of different techniques, right?
Yep.
That's fun playing with watercolor. So that could be, instead of those, that could still be that same kind of a hillside. You know, you just got all this stuff started and then it painted itself. So your challenge for this week is to take those techniques and make a painting using them.
I love it.
Not all, don't overdo it. These are just supporting actors. That's just supporting actors. Yeah.
And it's
The,
spattered.
the blowing, the stamping with the plastic, the stamping with just a wanna print, just a blob of paint on a piece of mat board. Yeah. Now you can put the ocean out there or whatever you
Or I
want.
could put a face.
Yeah,
in
and
here
let that dry
somewhere.
and then do what I did, sprinkle some lighter colored flowers, mix up some yellow or purple or whatever, pink. And then just spatter some and then make some of those into real flowers.
Okay,
That's what I think would work, maybe. I love creating something out of nothing. It's always a surprise and doesn't always work, but. So does that look like somebody's style?
yours, that is you.
I don't know if Joey Z or Chen Chung Wei or Alvaro or whoever would do that, but yes, it's my style as far as the colors that I like and the shapes that I like. So there's my input. The rest of it is just watercolor painting itself. And the values that I like.